So a lot of people come to me and they're like, I want to make sure that my family does not have to pay any taxes after I'm gone. I don't want the state or the government to get any more of my money. And I get it. You've paid a lot of taxes throughout your life. But I actually have good news for you. So the estate tax has changed a lot over the years. One thing that hasn't changed is that Georgia does not have a state estate tax. Say that 5 times fast. So Georgia, along with most of the southern states, does not actually have a state estate tax. A lot of the northern states, a lot of the bluer states, they have state estate taxes. It's a very political thing. Georgia does not have one, and I do not foresee that really changing anytime soon. What is a estate tax? It's often called an inheritance tax, a death tax, but basically it's when your estate gets taxed for a second time after you pass away. So states like Pennsylvania, New York, Massachusetts, California, they have state estate taxes that pretty much apply to everybody in that state. Georgia does not. So we only have to worry about the federal estate tax. The federal estate tax has morphed a lot over the years. So I see documents that were created back in the 90s, and they all have way more provisions for estate tax. And that is because back in the 90s, when President Clinton was in office, the federal estate tax was much, much lower. So I think at one point it was even as low as $400,000 exemption level per individual. I think it got raised to $800,000. And then President Bush raised it to $1 million per individual and then to $4.5 million per individual. President Obama tried to drop it back down to like $1.5 million. He was unsuccessful. President Trump then raised it to $10 million per individual. So that means that a couple has a $20 million exemption level under Trump's original raise. Now, since then, it had inflation increases, and as of 2025, it was all the way up to $26 million per couple. But it was set to sunset at the end of 2025. So a lot of people were really worried about this because it was going to sunset back down to probably estimated around $14 million per couple, which was a lot lower than $28 million. Still pretty high. Still wouldn't apply to a lot of people, but it would apply to more people for sure. But with the great big beautiful bill, or whatever you want to call it, that Trump passed in 2025 last year, now it's sitting at a permanent $30 million exemption level per couple, meaning that if you're married, combined, y'all have a $30 million exemption, $15 million per individual. So obviously, this just doesn't apply to many people in the state of Georgia. And that's the only exemption level that we have to worry about. That's the only estate tax we have to worry about. So if you have over $30 million or you're headed in that direction, absolutely, it is definitely something you need to worry about. It is a very big tax. It's a 40% tax on whatever is above and beyond that exemption level. So if you have $31 million, you're going to have to pay, your family's going to have to pay $400,000 in taxes. If you have $35 million, $2.5 million, probably like around like $2 million in taxes. It's 40%, not 50%. So it's a lot of money, and it does require additional planning. So when I have clients that are high net worth, what we do is we do the foundational plan at Arch Legacy Firm, and then we actually work with attorneys that specialize in high net worth planning. Honestly, most likely in different states, because Georgia doesn't have great tax avoidance trusts. Other states have better. Really close by, we have Tennessee, and they do have trusts that are really good for high net worth. So I have an attorney, Jay Adcox, who I refer to and work with my high net worth clients for those additional plannings. It's like the alphabet of trust. It's very different than what we have available for us in Georgia. But thankfully, because it is such a high exemption level in Georgia, typically we're not that worried about the estate tax for most of our clients.